What is up, everybody? Welcome back. Episode 22 now of the Texans franchise. We are here in week 6 with a road game against Buffalo on the docket. Josh Allen, Stephon Diggs. Of course, that defense, we saw them in the preseason, and we ended up falling to them 34-33 in a shootout. In a game that we saw some huge plays made, and it was a heartbreaking loss at the end in the final drive. Can't think of the receiver's name. I'm pretty sure it was, the last name was Shakir, but he ended up going off. Chris Gills, the rookie receiver, blazing speed. He was killing us through the air. Now we get to face them when it matters. Now, can we learn from our mistakes last time, and can we get the upper hand against them today? The playbook from last week, look, last week was a rough showing for our rookie quarterback, period. He had a bad game, and he made some bad decisions, but at the end of the day, he's a rookie. We have to expect that he is going to have these ups and downs until he gets better and develops a little bit more. So hopefully we can see a little bit more out of him today. I did, not a big change, but I just elevated a couple of different plays, brought a couple plays down, deleted some out of the situation. So the book itself is really the same, minus a few plays here and there. I'm really trying to get the ground game to be more prevalent with our running backs, not our quarterback. So hopefully I can see some of that as well today. Before we get to that game though, I do want to start taking a look at the players that are ready to negotiate, and then of course we have to touch on the big uglies in the draft class, that being the offensive and defensive line is who we will cover today. So let's go ahead and let's check out these re-signs. So we have a lot of the players that I plan on moving on from up for contract this year. Of course, first one, of course, being Brandon Cooks. I said it last video, I've made mention of it before. We have such a young receiving core. I don't know if it makes sense for those guys, for us to keep Cooks around. It's not that he hasn't been a good receiver. I think he's still got some time left, but he's not helping us, really, because this team needs to just grow. We have a lot of youth on this team, and we need the money to find better pieces to move forward into the future with. So I don't foresee us re-signing Cooks at all. I actually have him as my top trade candidate ahead of the trade deadline. We could put him on a team that actually is having success right now, maybe has a bad injury, or maybe just doesn't have the depth at wide receiver that they're looking for. And whether that be a different player, or if we can just bring in some draft capital going forward, that's what I would like to do with Cooks. Fletcher Cox has always just been a plug-and-play guy for us this year. I never expect him to be here long-term. He's 33. I don't plan on re-signing him. I just wanted this 1 year for our rookies and our young guys to grow into those roles so we can fill them into the position next season. So that's no worries there. Fletcher Cox will be gone after this year. Desmond King, this one I'm not sure about. This depends on what we find out about the corners in this draft class, which we will be going over in the next couple of videos. As I mentioned in the last one, corner is a spot where I feel like we really do need to find somebody to go along with Stingley and to be that third slot corner for us, whether that be Williams, who maybe is just not ready to be on the outside full time yet, or find somebody to take over King's role as our slot corner. And A'Shawn Robinson is up for this year. He really wants to re-sign with us, and I will probably consider keeping him here just for the simple fact that he's somebody who we already have seen consistency with. I don't know what we're going to get out of the guys we have behind them right now yet. Of course, I'm still working with them to get them as prepared as possible, but Robinson is on the bubble right now for us. And then comes the next biggest what if, and that is Davis Mills. Now, we have seen some rough patches out of Dylan Gilbert, but to say that we have not seen them out of Davis Mills in the years past would be lying. Now, he showed even a little bit more consistency than that of Gilbert, but Gilbert's only been going at this for, well, this is week 6 in his rookie season. I don't have any plans on bringing Mills back. It doesn't make any sense. We invested in a first-round quarterback. He has been starting since week 1. Mills would be a great trade piece for us, and there are a few teams that I've already spotted that do need a quarterback. whether that's this year immediately or next year. So Mills is right next to Brandon Cooks on the top of my trade candidates list right now. And then we have Nico Collins. That is another tough one. He has shown some consistency. He's made some good plays for us. He could be a great depth guy, so chances are I will probably end up offering him a contract. Right now, it looks like he just wants a 2-year, which isn't too bad. But with the emergence of Alex Poe as an X factor, and now we have Jordan Walker, who we do know is at the very least a star dev. Does it make sense to keep giving those touches to Nico Collins instead of pushing them onto our young, big-bodied receivers to get them up above? Because I think Walker is 1 or 2 below him in overall, but Poe is already past him. And then we have Obo here, Okoronkwo. He has been a great addition to this team. I really liked having him for the season prior. This year, though, it's been all McManus. And now, after last week, with McManus coming through as a superstar now, if we can get him for a good deal, which right now it looks like we can, I will probably bring him back as our veteran presence on the D-line, because it's better than not having him at all. It depends on what his regression is, because his regression started hitting last year, and I'm a little worried that he might have a big one upcoming, but we'll see what happens. I'm not going to re-sign him during the season. It's going to be during the offseason that we re-sign him, but there's a definite possibility that he could come back and serve that backup veteran presence role for us. Here's another tough one, Brevin Jordan. I pushed him to be the starter the first season and the second season. This year, I had to give it to Walsh. Walsh was the better tight end, and really, Jordan hasn't done much with his role since, I would say, mid last season. We have Tyler Jones, who I drafted this year, who I really like. He's almost like a receiver. He is fast, which is why I drafted him. So the jury's out on Brevin Jordan. I don't know what I want to do with him yet. I don't plan on trading him. I will be keeping him till the end of the season because it's a 73 overall tight end. Nobody's really looking for a tight end in that range. They can find him in free agency. But whether or not he stays on this roster is really going to be dependent on what he does the rest of this season. Tony Jefferson, another guy, probably not going to be bringing him back at all. A filler backup role. Ron Vick has actually shown me a lot this season, which means that I'm probably going to roll with Vick as the reserve safety for us. So Jefferson's time with us will be just the one season. Max Sharping, probably will be bringing him back. I like him as our reserve option at guard. He can play on both sides for us. He can even play center if need be. I like having him around. He's 28. Good veteran presence. We'll probably be re-signing him once that opens up in week 13. Same with Trey Hopkins. I like having him here. I know he's 32. So unless his regression hits really hard, I will be bringing him back just to be that guy behind Pearson, because we never know what's going to happen to Pearson. So those are the last two guys on this list. And now as for the guys that are available to re-sign right now, obviously Cox is not going to be somebody I re-sign. I don't plan on re-signing Brandon Cooks. Desmond King is up in the air, so I'm not going to touch that yet. And then A'Shawn Robinson, who is somebody I think we could offer a contract to. So let's see what he is looking for. His interest level is really high, which is awesome to see. We have plenty of cap room. So I think it would be a good idea to just offer him the one-year deal here, a neutral risk, $7.1 million. Not a bad haul overall. And he takes the offer. So there we go. A'Shawn Robinson is back. And now that brings us to the prospects. And we left off at left tackles. We didn't really go over tight ends too much. So maybe I should just run through them really quickly, like I did the halfbacks and receivers on the last video. So at the top here, we have Doug Lockhart. I know I did a quick summary of these guys, but I really didn't touch on them at all, and I want to do a better job at that. So Lockhart here is the first guy available, round one talent, A catching. He's 23 years old, 6'6", 250 pounds, pretty good size for a tight end. And he's got some good stuff here. Catching is an A, awareness is an A, his pass blocking is a D, but I really don't care about a tight end that can block. I mean, maybe I'm dumb for not wanting that, but my first reaction is, can they catch the ball? Can they be a threat in the passing game? I like to run a lot of spread, a lot of 3 and 4 receiver sets. So a lot of the times the blocking doesn't necessarily need to come from the tight end. which is also why I like having a fullback, because I like having eye for him in our books. The next man is Dalton Anderson, 6'5", 248, 21, just a little bit smaller than that of Lockhart, but he has A, catch in traffic. Looks to be pretty good with his speed. Great to elite in excel, good to great at agility, great to elite in change of direction, great to elite jumping, good to great speed. So pretty good right away. And then we can see that we only know that he's got D, impact blocking, and C, run block finesse, but we know that he's got A, catch in traffic. So again, something to keep an eye on going forward, that he could be a potential great tight end. But I really don't see us going with a tight end in round 1. If we were even to do that, it would end up probably being somebody farther down the board, when it's just more of a, there's nobody else to really take in this situation. And who knows, if Jordan comes through and does what I know he can do this season, we have our 3 tight ends. We don't need anybody else. Again, Kerry Sloan is the next one, 6'6", 241, so same height as Lockhart, a little bit lighter than both him and Anderson. He is 21 years old, out of West Virginia, A, catch in traffic for him as well. He has great to elite in almost every category except change of direction, which is still good to great, and then his strength, which is marginal to decent, not ideal, but if he is more so a receiving threat, you can sort of get away from that. We know he's got A, catch in traffic, B, medium route, and B, spectacular catch. So this one we actually unlocked a lot of his catching ratings, which is awesome to see. This is somebody to definitely keep an eye on. Still round 1 to 2, which means probably outside of our selection spot for a tight end. And then we get down to the spot where I would first probably start considering a tight end, and that's rounds 3 to 4. David Reynolds, 6'6", 263, 22. That same build as Lockhart. Obviously, probably not as talented. We do know he can block so far, and his ratings are not the best, but they're also not bad either. Great to elite strength, so I feel like he might be more of a blocker, or at least have better blocking ratings than the previous guys. Speed still good to great, agility still good to great. It's the excel and change of direction where it drops down to the decent solid range, jumping solid to good as well. And then we have A, pass block, A, run block, and B, break tackle. So this guy is probably a blocker, which could end up skewing his overall. We'll have to see if any of the catching unlocks a C, because I've, like, for instance, in for my RFL team, the Explorers, which I'll be bringing that to the channel here shortly once the season starts getting really close, which it is. I have a tight end named Braxton Banjo, and he's like an 80-something overall tight end, but it's all because his blocking is so over exaggerated. He's got like mid-80s blocking all across the board, and when I bring his blocking back down to like an average tight end blocker rating, he's like a 72 overall, right? So that's why I really don't like looking for the blockers, because it makes it seem like the tight end is a better fit, but really they're not. And it'll actually increase their vertical and possession just as much as it will their blocking, which makes zero sense to me. So that's another little tidbit to keep an eye out for with these tight ends. Just because you see that what their overall is, make sure it's not being inflated by the blocking and that they're actually not a very good receiver. And then we got Eric Parks, same thing, rounds 3 to 4, 6'3", 261, 22 years old, out of Florida State. He's sort of middle of the pack here, decent to solid, great to elite agility, solid to good COD, decent to solid jumping, good to great speed, solid to good strength. So right in the middle there, it seems, out of the guys we've seen. We know he's got good awareness, we know he can catch in traffic, and his run blocking is at least mediocre, which is, maybe I should say average, not mediocre, which is good. And now we're getting into the day 3 guys. Cooper Shepard, 6'5", 261, 23 years old, out of Texas. And he is, as well, ratings still within that average range, except COD and acceleration, which drops. Excel poor to marginal, not a fan of that. And then he's really middle of the pack on everything. B, short route, though, which is nice to see. But C, awareness, C, impact blocking. Definitely don't know much about him, and the 3 ratings we unlocked don't tell us a whole lot. And then D'Angelo Buchanan, 6'4", 246, 23 once again. Not really a fan of the 23-year-olds if you're not picking him in the first round. And, oh boy, he's got good strength, but everything else ratings-wise is not good. Marginal to decent, poor to marginal. So this guy is definitely just a straight-up blocking tight end, as you can see. A, pass blocking, D, deep route, and D, short route. This is a guy that I would definitely pass on because, again, not a fan of just blocking tight ends. And then the last draftable tight end in terms of this is Troy Marsh, another day 3 guy, 6'3", 258, 22 years old. Again, looks to be another blocking tight end. A impact, a run block, but everything else is down there, like the catch and traffic being an F. So another guy that I would just end up passing on. And that's going to bring us to the left tackles. Now, I know that we have left tackles in place right now. I completely get that. But this is the strength of this class, is the tackles. They have 3 or 4 guys, actually 4 or 5 guys here for round 1 grades. And on the right side, they have 2 of the top 5s and a few more round 1 to 2 guys. So this is a very heavy area of this class, and I wanted to make sure that I knew as much about these guys as possible because obviously there's a lot of potential here. So starting off at the top, we have DeMar Hayes, 21 years old, 6'6", 334 pounds, A awareness and A impact blocking. Doesn't look to be that good in the ratings department though. And then here we have the pass block is also a C. Again, a lot of these guys we don't know much about yet. It is a good thing to see that awareness and impact being an A though. The next one down, Ryan Homan, another round 1 prospect, 6'5", 326, 22 years old out of Florida State. He has a little bit of a mixed bag in the ratings department, a couple of good ones, a couple of bad ones. And then we know here he's got good run block power, but his injury is down and his pass blocking is average at best. Mitchell Chambers is another round 1 graded left tackle, 6'6", 330 pounds, 22 out of North Carolina. And he's got a couple, he really only has one that's below at least solid to good, which, well, his agility too. But he's got solid to good speed, good to great strength, solid to good excel. Awareness is an A, pass block finesse, and run block a B, which means to tell me he may be more of a balanced approach when it comes to linemen, not so much a pass pro or not too much of run blocking. Morgan Weber here as well, 6'6", 313, 23 out of Auburn. He's actually has a pretty even keel ratings, pretty good ones too. A lot of good to great, a great to elite, and a solid to good. But then here, looking at it, it looks like a pretty big mixed bag. D, pass block power, A, run block finesse, and then C, run block power. So I don't know where the rest of them fall, but it's not a good look to see a left tackle with bad pass blocking in any area. And then the final guy who could go in round 1 is Doug Henderson, 6'4", 314, 22, out of Michigan. And he, again, very, very average to sort of below average in the ratings department. Decent to solid, solid to good, good to great, poor to marginal. I guess we don't really need guys to jump. Decent to solid, and then marginal to decent strength. That's really the kicker for me. And then over in the skills department, D, run block finesse, but his pass blocking seems to be off the charts. A, pass block finesse. There are a few more guys down here in like the 2 to 3, 3 to 4 range. And we'll get into that as we unlock more of it. But for now, the left tackle is not really even the spot that I'm really looking at that much. I'm really looking at tackles because I'm not sure what we're going to get with Jenkins, guys. We've had a few occasions where he has gotten beat bad. And we've also had a few occasions where we can't count on him to stay healthy in the games. And while I know his overall is great, and it's obviously does work from time to time, does it make sense to keep him here for the contract amount that he's eating up? And then added to that, is it makes sense to deal with the contract now knowing that we can't count on him to stay healthy all the time, and we've had some issues with him still getting beat even though he's a high overall. I know his contract is not anywhere close to being done, but it's never a bad time to get a solid offensive lineman. There's so many times where we see injuries happen. We need guys that can rotate in. So, and with this being a strong tackle class, it'd be dumb not to take a look and see if we can find a stud in the offensive line moving forward. So right tackle is really where my money is right now for an early pick if need be. And let's go ahead and let's take a look at these guys. First is Lance Brackens. He's one of the top 5 projected picks, 6'5", 319, 21 out of Ole Miss. And he has got a great set of ratings here. Good to great, good to great, great to elite, solid to good, good to great. Skills wise, B, pass block, B, stamina, C, run block power. Not a fan of that, but that might just mean that he's better at left tackle than he is at right tackle. would definitely like to see more of his stuff unlocked. The other top 5, Steve Shelley, 6'4", 315, 22 out of Miami. So everything here looks really good for him. And then looking at his ratings, impact and run block finesse both sitting at an A, and run block being at a B. He is definitely somebody we need to keep an eye on moving forward for sure. The third guy that could go in the first round, Harvey Freeman, 6'6", 332, 21 out of LSU. Big tackle, standing at 6'6", 330 plus pounds. And it shows in his ratings. Not the fastest, not the quickest. Got some decent strength, but even that, solid to good. Sort of underwhelming for a guy that's that big. But he does have A awareness, B pass block power, but then his run block finesse all the way down to a D. I have a feeling this will end up being somebody who is strictly a power type of blocker, which it could be a good thing, but I also like to try and find guys that are more balanced, especially if we're going to be looking at them in first round. Jermaine Barkley here, another round 1 to 2 projection, 6'4", 307, 21, San Diego State. Physicals, very middle of the pack, solid to good, a few good to great. And then at the skill position, A lead block, A impact block, and B pass block finesse. So what this is telling me is this man might end up being an even better guard at the pro level, because that lead block being an A could end up being a huge asset to have on pulling run plays. And his impact block being an A, which means when he makes contact, he can make contact. And him only being 6'4", 307 does fit more of a guard type of body than a left tackle or right tackle. So somebody I also am really interested in learning more about. And then the last guy in the round 1 to 2 category is Daniel Oberg, 6'6", 311, 22 out of Auburn. Nothing is too low, and he has a couple that are up there, like his Excel, great to elite, good to great, so I'd love to see that. And here we know that his run block finesse is an A, run block power a D, and stamina a C. Does not tell us too much. Depending on what his pass blocking would be looking like, would really be the indicator of what he could be, plus his lead block and impact block. He sort of got that body type for, well, I guess at 6'6", that might be a little tall for a guard, but we'll see what unlocks. But so far, he's not impressed me that much. And then after that, it drops off to round 3 to 4, a few day 3 guys, a lot of day 3 guys. And again, once things start unlocking more for this group, we will definitely explore them again. I just wanted to give you guys a good introduction into these guys as we start moving through the season and start hearing more of these stories. And then on to the defensive end position. This is another area where we really don't have much riding on this one. The one thing I can see is if I decide that I'm not a huge fan of the guys we have at D tackle and I want to bring on a more power rush role, because right now we have 2 huge dudes. We re-signed Robinson, who's more of that in-between like 3 technique, but we don't really have a young 3 technique on the roster. So I'm not really looking at this for a defensive end position yet, considering McManus just moved to superstar, and we still have superstar with Grenard. But one of these guys, sort of like Brandon Stevenson, for instance, could end up being that power rush type defensive tackle for us. And you can see he's 6'5", 306, 23 years old. Doesn't have the best ratings, B awareness, C power move, A tackle. That is good to see. I'm going to skip over some of these guys. This is basically a 3-4 end, which we don't need. Eric Barnard is another option at defensive tackle for us. This would probably be the lowest I would go with weight for a guy to move inside, and that's at 287. So in that 285, 290 range. Once you go a little bit lighter than that, you pretty much are forcing a DN to play D tackle, and it just does not work. He doesn't have very good physical ratings though, which it will go back to him being at defensive end. Some of these DNs are going to be faster and quicker than a D tackle. And then at the skill position, he's got B block shedding, D tackle, and C awareness though. There's a couple more guys down here in day 3 that don't really have any good ratings to look at. So let's go over to the right ends here. And a lot of guys that are more of your prototypical defensive ends. Earl Sharper here could be a potential. So we got 6'5", 291, 22 out of Virginia. I'm not too worried about the ratings, considering that I don't want him to play defensive end. We have block shedding listed as an A and his tackle listed as an A, which is a good sign. Power moves only a C. Maybe more of a run stopper than an actual power rusher. But somebody, again, to keep an eye on. Rounds 2 to 3 is a little bit better of an area for us to be targeting. And then most of the guys down here just don't really fit the bill. F's, 1B here, but a little bit too light for my liking. Yeah, so just not much here at defensive end for us. Looking at D tackle is where I could really see us taking somebody in like maybe not first round, but second round. Looking for that guy that could be more of a power rusher than anything else. We have the run stoppers, I think, with the guys that we have, both of them over 330 pounds. Definitely do not need another one of those big guys, but somebody in between, and that's really what I want to see here. So let's see if we have anybody that fits that role. First one here, Bryce Urban. He's the second listed D tackle, 6'3", 302 pounds, 21 years old, out of West Virginia. He's got some pretty decent ratings. Strength isn't the highest, neither is his cont or jumping, but how important really are those attributes for a D tackle? He's got B block shedding, C finesse move, and A impact block. Very, very good ratings to have for a D tackle. Stephen Moorhead is another one, a little bit heavier, but some of his ratings look like he could be more of a rusher. But his speed is good to great, his strength, great to elite, good things to see. And then at the skills, A play rec and tackle to go along with C finesse moves. So if we can get his power moves to be a C or better, he might end up being exactly what we're looking for. Yeah, not too much other stuff that I'm seeing here that I'm really a big fan of. Yeah, I think we're going to have to wait for more of these guys to really unlock. Oh, here's one, Pierre Jackson. 6'5", 298. He is 23, though. Sort of average across the board for ratings. B finesse move, B injury, and C awareness. For a day 3 guy, not too bad. But really not a whole lot here that is jumping off the page yet. That could change once we get to unlocking more of these guys' ratings. And that's everybody for today. Next video, we'll end up going over the linebackers, and then we'll save the secondary as the video after that. And then by the time we get to the end of the entire class, and you guys are sort of up to speed with the names that are involved, we'll be getting more stories in, and we'll be unlocking more of the percentage here for their draft grades, and we'll be able to really start pinpointing certain players. So that's sort of the idea behind this staged learning curve of the draft class. And now on to the weekly opponent, which is the Buffalo Bills. They started off strong with 2 big wins, and then they've lost 2 of the last 3, but they have had some pretty big offensive performances, which is expected, of course. Losing pretty bad to the Jaguars, though. That is not something you expect to see out of Buffalo. Despite some of the bad performances, Josh Allen is having a great season like normal. 1,156 yards passing, 12 touchdowns to only 2 interceptions. Having a 103 passer rating, just above 60% for his pass completions. Rushing-wise, Devin Singletary still leading the way. I'm pretty sure they re-signed him recently. 3.9 yards average, 5 touchdowns. Allen also adding some on the ground as always. Receiving-wise, you know you're going to see Stephon Diggs. He is such a beast in this system and just in general. And this was the guy that killed us in the preseason along with Khalil Shakir. That's what it was. So Gills being a rookie, he is a speedster, and he's showing it. 220 yards, 4 touchdowns for him. Quez Watkins, definitely an underrated receiver. He has gotten us a few different times in different games, and even going back to my last franchise, I mean, he has always been a game breaker because of his speed. So him and Gills and Diggs, this is a lot of speed on this offense to go along with a guy like Shakir who can come in relief and still make plays for him. Defensively, Matt Milano leading in tackles. Von Miller, year 14, 35 years old, still doing his thing. 9 sacks through 5 games. That is crazy. Ed Oliver coming in behind him at 5 of his own. And then we have Charlie Lane, the rookie, still getting 2.5, even though he's sort of stuck behind Von Miller. And Greg Russo with 2 of his own. Tre'Davious White, no surprise to see him leading. 2 interceptions for him, and then 1 for Jordan Poyer. Not many interceptions for this defense. And then same as we saw with the Dolphins, no forced fumbles. Both of us sitting at 3-2. Obviously, the Bills are a little bit better of a team than us. We're going to have to worry about that defense against our offense, really both sides. Not a huge difference in overall, but we know what this team can bring to us between Josh Allen, Stephon Diggs, now with guys like Chris Gills and Quez Watkins. They have a lot of talent on this offense, and we know our secondary has had some issues this year covering the deep balls and really making a lot of plays. Outside of interceptions, we still give up a lot of yards, so that's definitely something we got to watch out for. But without further ado, it's time for us to take on these Bills. Let's go and get to this game. Both teams going 3-and-out in their opening series, and now Buffalo comes out with excellent field position at the 46-yard line. We got Chris Gills, the electric rookie, in motion. We saw him in preseason as he's going to get this first play on a little spot route underneath. And now here on 2nd and short, they'll go to Singletary right up the middle, and we will get the stop just shy of the first 3rd and 1, and they're going to come out in that big I formation. Let's see if they're going to run it right up the middle. That's what they do, and it doesn't matter. I saw it coming, but apparently our defense didn't, as they'll get out to the 40 and get themselves a first down. Or I should say down to the 40, already in our own territory. And another handoff. Oh boy, nowhere to go that time. Devin White, Braxton McManus teaming up in the backfield. Allen opts to throw. We got a blitz coming, and it is not picked up, and we get a big sack, which it causes a fumble, and McManus recovers it, and we are going to get ourselves our first turnover of the day. It's a safety or corner blitz. King starts it off, and then it's finished on the drive by, it looks like, Fletcher Cox. Wow, what a way for our defense to respond. Now, can we get the offense in a rhythm here? Offset I, starting off at our own 46-yard line. Sweet in the backfield. Handoff. Sweet cuts through off the right side, and he'll get out to midfield for a quick pickup of 4 yards. And now on 2nd and 6, Pierce checking in, and shotgun trips to the left. Gilbert back to throw. Fires it off to the left side. He's got Alex Poe up the sideline and down to the 38. Poe gave him a little bit better gear. Just had a quick little white gloves and arm tape on him. Now I just moved that over to the quarter sleeves. Just trying to shake things up a little bit. I like guys with individual gear, so had to do that. If you guys noticed it anyway. Thought you guys would, but I don't know. Maybe you don't care about that stuff. And there he finds Slayton on a slant route, working against Tre'Davious White. And he gets down to the 25. Excellent job there by Gilbert. Put that on a rope. Now 1st and 10. Another handoff to Sweet, who's got a big lane all the way down inside the 10 to the 8-yard line. Great job blocking up front. Harris leading the way. And Sweet almost able to break that one free for a touchdown. But still, we get it 1st and goal from the 8. 3 receivers. Pierce takes the handoff. A little quick gap up the middle, closes. So now here on 2nd and goal. I know this formation. This is going to be a run. Handoff, Sweet, and the Bills knew it as well. Ed Oliver making some noise. He'll bring him down, but now 3rd and 1. We have one receiver split out wide. Let's see if this is the play I think it is. No, it is not. Tyler Jones in motion. Got to snap the ball here. Finally do. Back to pass, quick throw, touchdown, Leo Walsh. And we will capitalize on the fumble and take the early lead here in the first quarter. 1st and 10 now for Buffalo. After the strip sack leads to the touchdown, they come out down 7. Try to go to Singletary, pushing himself forward for 2 yards. 5 carries, 10 yards on the day. We've done a good job so far against the run. As Allen goes right back to Singletary. And, oh man, Grenard ends up pushing him forward. Looks like we had him stopped a few yards short, maybe like a 3rd and 3. But now, thanks to Grenard, it's 3rd and 1. Is Allen going to do a quick throw outside to the speedy Gills, and he makes the catch and gets out of bounds. Tight end Mo Alley Cox going down. Allen scanning, rolling out, and he runs right into Jonathan Grenard. 2nd sack of the day, and we're going to push him all the way back to make it 2nd and 19. And this one was just strictly Josh Allen not paying attention to where he was going. Grenard was getting taken care of really by the right tackle, but once those quarterbacks start rolling around, they can give away the leverage the linemen have without even realizing it, and we've seen that plenty of times on our end. Now can Allen and company get out of this hole? 2nd and 19. 3.5 just about to go in this first quarter. Allen scrambling around again, gets outside of the pressure, fires it downfield, and it's incomplete. And now 3rd and 19. Allen, quick drop back. Lets it go over the middle, and Stefon Diggs just makes an amazing catch. I mean, you can't even be mad at that. I mean, you can be, but you just have to respect it. 23 yards, Diggs going up, making the catch through contact, staying on his feet. Look at that. And gets the first down. And that is why it is so hard to play this team, because you never know. They can pull something out of their pocket like that at any moment. And right there, another big shot over the middle. It's Shakir making the catch inside the 30. Shakir destroyed us in the preseason. If you guys remember that, if you guys watched that video, if you didn't, we played Buffalo in the preseason, and it was a shootout. We ended 34-33, and Shakir, I think, scored 2 of those touchdowns, but fourth quarter, he was just electric for Buffalo, and Josh Allen now feeling it. 1st and 10. And it looked like we actually had a decent blitz dialed up, but Allen was able to diagnose quickly and find a new target as Allen, once again under pressure, and he throws it right into the arms of Jalen Petrie. The blitz put him off target, and Petrie able to capitalize, and we get our 2nd turnover. Yeah, right there, that blitz by King puts him offline just a little bit, just enough for Petrie to have it just land right in his chest. And now Dylan Gilbert's going to get yet another opportunity here to put up some points. We went down the field last drive, put up 7-0. And we continue this streak. Hand off to Pierce. Pierce with a huge gap up the middle all the way out to the 40. That's what I love to see. I need to get this run game going. That was one of my sole purposes for the last couple of hours here, just testing. And there's a quick pass to Pierce, and Pierce trying to break free from Poyer, but White able to come up and assist him to bring him down. 2nd and 6. Just under a minute now left in the first quarter. Play action, rollout. Gilbert fires in. Oh, man, he misses an open receiver. He had him there. I think it was Collins. And just flat out missed him. 3rd and 6 now. Gilbert taking a big drop back. Doesn't have anywhere to go. He's going to run with it. And he breaks free from one. Breaks free from another. And he's going to get the first down and more. What happened to Gilbert and the defense on that play? Oh my God. I thought he was dead to rights in the backfield there. I don't know how he was able to get away from the first guy, let alone the second guy, and get that first down, but I'm excited for it. And now he finds a quick spot route underneath the Poe. Quick gain of 9, 6 for 8, 44 yards. And of course, that touchdown on the last drive to Walsh, and now a handoff. Pierce right up the middle, almost skates through untouched. And that would have been dangerous. Luckily for them, Ed Oliver puts his big arm out there and was able to corral him just enough to allow the defense to get back control and bring him down. Still, either way, we get a fresh set. 1st and 10, Gilbert steps up, fires to Sweet, and Sweet is in for a touchdown of his own. And we're going to go out very early here, up 13-0 over the Bills. Very exciting first quarter for us. Very exciting. Love to see it. Now Allen over the middle, and he's got Watkins pushing his way out to the 42. Wes Watkins, another burner. They got so many fast receivers on this team. It's hard to keep up with them. You think about how good Stefon Diggs is on his own, and then you add in Quez Watkins, who's definitely an underrated receiver, and then you add in the rookie Chris Gills. Dangerous combo as Allen takes a huge drop, fires it immediately, and it is broken up. Jalen Petrie working against Stefon Diggs, able to break that play up before he could come down with it. And we'll force 2nd and 10. Singletary takes it, and McManus denies him any yardage whatsoever. A loss of 1. Defense playing absolutely phenomenal so far today. I don't expect it to keep going this way just because of how talented the Bills are, but I'll take it. I'll take it. It's been awesome. And there we go, another 4th down. All right, back on offense at our own 15. Gilbert in the shotgun. You're going to start with a play action to Pierce. Gilbert then dumps it off to Pierce, and he'll get a couple of yards, nothing major. Single back look here. Sweet takes the handoff, tries to cut it back left side, but the Bills do a good job of corralling them. And now we're looking at a 3rd and 7. We have trips to the right, one to the left. Gilbert drops back under pressure, and he's going to go down, and the Bills defense starting to wake up a little bit here in the second quarter. Bills going to get a good chance here on this drive with good starting field position at the 41. And a quick throw. Oh, broken up. Nice job by Greenlaw. And it's not that the Bills haven't really been able to move the ball. It's just been the consistency with the turnovers. And you can't really even fault the Bills. It's really been us forcing them with the pressure putting on Allen. As, a deep shot there is incomplete, almost intercepted. I'm not sure where Allen was looking on that one. There was too many defenders in the area. But it's going to bring up 3rd and 10. Allen under pressure. He's got to throw it again, and it's picked off again. This time it's Greedy Williams running up the sideline and finally shoved out of bounds by Allen himself at the 37. This defense is on a mission today. 3rd turnover puts us at the 37 of Buffalo. Handoff to Sweet. And Sweet still not able to find too many yards. Had that one nice run earlier, but since then the Bills have sort of put the clamps on the running game. And because of that, we're going to go empty set. Blitz coming. Gilbert able to get rid of it just in time, but it's a throw it away. Got Poe lined up outside of the right. Pierce in the backfield. Gilbert scanning. He's going to get out of there. He's got some room for the first down and more. The 10 breaks free, and he's going to take it 35 yards to the house for our 3rd touchdown of this half. Make it 20-0. A good but not good day for Gilbert so far. He just hasn't really been able to push the ball downfield yet. As he does right there and finds Poe, who somehow wiggles free and gets down to the 27. Dangerous throw. White tries jumping it, but Poe simply out-muscles him, it looks like, and gets in the position for the football. Beautiful job. I mean, Poe just looking like a beast. Happy that we have him starting out now, because I've definitely been seeing some more out of him since I gave him the opportunity to start, and it was the right thing to do. And, but yeah, so 1st and 10 here. 3:45 to go. Handoff to Sweet, trying once again to find anything, but once again they shut it down. 2nd and 7, another I formation look for us. And another handoff. Sweet. I don't even know what happened on that play, but he loses 4 yards trying to get outside. It looked like he just slipped on a banana peel out there. His feet went out from under him, and he was just sitting on his butt. Weird. 3rd and 11. Gilbert fires it short. Beautiful play by 58. That could have been a touchdown. 58 saved the touchdown there, reaching back. And we'll have to try for our first field goal of the day. It's up, and Lutz puts it through. 24-0. Out comes Allen once again. 2:24 to go in this half. He's going to start on play action. A quick throw over the middle. He finds Gills that time, and Gills falling forward to the 48. Very quick throw. Smart decision by Buffalo. Just get a quick playoff. Try and get a rhythm. Allen steps up. He's going to run with it. He's got blockers. Allen inside the 20 to the 18. Right back to the line here. 1:08 and ticking. Allen stepping up. Fires over the middle. Diggs is there, and Diggs is inside to the 8. But here they go. Big set. Hand it to Singletary, and Singletary's in, and the Bills finally get on the board. 24-6 with the extra point coming. Gilbert coming back out here to start off the second half. And that quick drive able to put us into a spot to get a field goal to end it out, which is nice to see. 27-7. Now we come out with a commanding lead. And we're going to start with Sweet on the ground. Sweet trying to push through. Once again, looks like there was a better angle there. Maybe he got caught up on the line, but it just looked like sometimes these running backs are running into areas that they shouldn't. As a quick throw outside, Slayton makes the catch, and he's got the first. Sticking with the air here, a quick throw over the middle. Walsh making the catch. 2nd and 3, we'll go to Pierce. Pierce cuts it back up inside, and Charlie Lane shoving him down. 3rd and 1. Sweet lined up in the eye. Let's see if we're going to go with the run here. No, it's a quick throw. Gilbert's got to get rid of it. It's not there. He's got to do something. He's going to take off with it and get the first himself with his legs. And there's nobody out there. Finally chased down at the 17, and now Walsh is down. Oh, man. Leo Walsh is down on the field. He is going to head back to the locker room, and that means it's going to be Brevin Jordan stepping up. Very funny how I just spoke about before this game, we're going to try and move on from Cooks. And what happens? He gets hurt in this practice. And then I made mention of needing to see Jordan step up. And what happens now? Walsh gets hurt. And right there, Jordan makes his first catch down to the 11-yard line. But it's just funny how that works, how it plays itself out. It's almost like I wrote a script. Gilbert, empty backfield, a quick throw. It's caught. And now it's going to be probably a run to Sweet. Can we open up a lane? Handoff. Sweet trying to push through. We'll stick on the ground with Sweet, and this time he's able to get in for the touchdown. His second of the day, first on the ground. And we are going to take yet a bigger lead, 33-7, to open up this second half. Only 179 yards and 2 interceptions today for Josh Allen, as he's going to roll out again, and he finds Watkins open, and Watkins able to get another first down. This is sort of like their opening drive or two, when before the interceptions and fumbles started happening, they were moving the ball. It was really more about not having the turnovers. So it's not that their offense has been that bad. It's just our defense has been in the right spot at the right time on multiple occasions. Allen just whipping this thing up, and Quez Watkins brings it down. Allen just like threw that thing in the air. Like that was the perfect example of screw it. He's down there somewhere and just chucked that thing. He just turns like a 180 spin throw, and Watkins is able to bring it down and get probably one of the biggest plays the Bills have had all day. And that's what I mean. This is a dangerous team. Allen, another one over the middle. Gills makes the catch, and he's got another first. I like the guys we have, but I do feel like I missed out on not taking a guy like Gills. I mean, between seeing him in preseason and just worried about his speed, it's been something to see. That's one thing that we really don't seem to have in a young receiver, right? We have Cooks, but we know he's probably on his way out. We don't have that legit deep threat right now. And the Bills definitely have that, a few of them at that. And Allen finding a man, no, incomplete, looking for Diggs. And yeah, they got to go for it here. I mean, it's 27 seconds left in the third. You're down by 30. What is there to lose at this point? Pitch outside, Singletary, and he'll get the first. Good play call there by the Bills. O-line did a good job of securing the point of attack there and giving him a lane to get the first, and almost giving him another one there to get the touchdown and be able to be stopped at the 1. I wouldn't be surprised here if they run it again. And that's exactly what they do. Singletary sort of stutter steps, and he pays for it. He doesn't do that little stutter step juke, he's probably in the end zone right now. 3rd and goal. Handoff, no. Allen keeps it himself and dives in, and the Bills will finally put another one up on the board. We got one over the top, Petrie that is. Oh, we got a blitz coming, they pick it up. And he'll get rid of it to Shakir, who breaks free, and Shakir gets the first down. 2nd, 3rd, and long. They were able to convert today, and they're going to go no huddle. Quick throw, and it's picked off again by Petrie. 2 picks, and that is the nail in the coffin. Well, it's come much earlier than that, but just a horrible way to end the day. 3rd interception for Josh Allen, and Petrie just stepping in front of Shakir there. We'll probably run a play or two depending on how Buffalo plays this if they start calling timeouts, but at this point, the game's over. And off to Sweet. And yeah, most carries this season by one running back on this team, and we didn't even get 60 yards. Not a fan of that, not in the slightest. Oh, God, we're going to get a delay of game, aren't we? Yeah. Some of those plays are not good for when you're trying to kill the clock. I should have thought about that. "19 seconds. This will probably be the last play. Surprised the clock didn't keep running. Hand off to Pierce, and it is a short run at that. And that is the game, folks. We come into Buffalo, we punch him in the mouth, and we walk out of here with our 4th win of the season. McDermott's frustrated. Allen, of course, frustrated. We're happy. Gilbert did his job. The defense did their job. And what a way to bounce back after a tough outing last episode against the Dolphins. Okay, so Stingley ends up getting an upgrade after we finish that game. And this one, I would like to get more on the man side. So yeah, we're going to do man coverage. There we go. And he's going to get 2-man, 1 play rec, and 1 press. All right, so that puts us in the bye week. Now we are in week 7, which means we have week 8 coming up, 1 more week. I need to know what you guys think down in the comments below about the moves that I mentioned. I think in the last or earlier this video. I think it was that or the other one. I record these back to back, so I can't even remember which one is which. But let me know what you guys think. I want to move on from Brandon Cooks, and I would also like to move on from Davis Mills. We got a chance today to see what the offense looks like without Cooks. Not really thanks to the injury, but because of the injury that he suffered. And then Mills, I don't think we need him. You know, I think we will have growing pains with Gilbert. I'm not expecting him to be an all-pro immediately. But it is no good that we're going to get out of him being on the bench. We've got Minshew Mania in the back in case he needs to step in for a game or something. So I think those are the 2 guys we really need to think about moving on from. But let me know if you guys think I'm crazy or if that sounds about right. And then that's what we'll do in week 8. Is make those final moves before the trade deadline and then get on with the rest of our season. But I appreciate you guys so much for watching. Make sure you drop a like, you hit that sub button if you have not already, and turn on that bell notification so you know every time I upload this Texans or something else, some more content. And I'll see you guys next time.